Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love once again. Welcome back to Chats with Jack. And I am Jack Talcott, excited once again to start the stream, start the day, see what we share today. Sincerely, all who may tune in, join, share, support, either live or later, whatever platform, whatever restream, however you find me, thank you. Thank you for sharing your time and your attention in this crazy life we're living. Today, I do kind of want to have some fun. It's Friday. Got the Friday energies a little bit loose today. I'm trying to build myself up again from, I mentioned some of the, maybe I didn't mention. I've been dealing with some internal energies and my own struggles inside, but today I feel like having some fun. I am inspired with this idea. Peace is available. And what a beautiful idea for the future. The Talcott Foundation for World Peace, man. I could totally get behind that. And why not? Why not? If anything is possible in this life, why couldn't Jack Talcott find a way to be influential towards the efforts of peace, ending wars? And I think, righteously, that could include a peace prize, but that's not my purpose. My purpose is peace. And actually, in the background, join me today in dreaming big. Dreaming big can take you to places you didn't know were available. And a life without a greater purpose, truly, it is a missed opportunity for achievements. And these are life lessons that I've truly discovered in my experience. I mean, I was living a good life in the past with a secure job and a drinking problem and, nothing really to worry about, although I did find plenty to worry about. But in the past, I was so focused on the plans and, all the worries and concerns I used to carry, and it limited me. I wasn't spending time allowing my heart to dream, allowing my mind to wander into better futures. But once I did, golly gee, holy cows, man, my life started changing. I've mentioned that 2018 for me was a year of transformation. Externally, my life did start falling apart. That's when my family separated and the career and all that stuff changed. But 2018, to give some context to my year of 2018, I'll remind for those who are familiar, growing up as a child with my mother and stepfather, we moved around a lot. So once I finally settled into a career and a house and all of this, I was not used to being stationary for so long. I felt this pull within myself to travel because I grew up traveling. And then as a young man, taxpayers flew me around the world to different places. So in the military. So until I moved to Spokane, I'd lived a life of travel. I was kind of a wanderer, not necessarily by choice, but by happenstance or circumstance. So I remember fighting these urges within myself, wanting to leave town, wanting to travel and stuff. But I had a family, I had a job, I had a house, I had all these reasons I couldn't do those things. So I convinced myself I couldn't. And then I didn't dream. Well, then in 2018, after, and again, this is about a year and a half after going to detox, working towards my recovery and such, I chose to become more than I was. And that choice, that permission I gave myself to become better than I was, first, it required me to admit, shamefully, humbly, I didn't like who I'd become. I mean, I didn't hate myself, but I wasn't proud of who I was. And so by giving myself permission to dream, to think bigger, holy cows, man, 2018. I must have flown across the US like 5 times that year. I went to Washington, D.C., to New York City. And me, I'd never been a big city guy. I'd never been one to really go out and adventure on my own, especially into unfamiliar territory. But I did. I I was inspired by so many different things. And let's see, I went to in that year, I think I hit Washington, D.C., New York City, Hollywood, um, back to Virginia, I think, too, and back to LA. And it was just my life took me to different places. Why? Because I started asking the world different questions. I started asking myself different questions. I started giving myself, allowing myself to find different answers, different than the old me. And so this actually kind of gets us back into the topic of today, too. Testing beliefs. It came from the note I was looking for yesterday. It started as holding opinions versus testing opinions. We can pick up these opinions and ideas, these rules and values. We get these ideas through the society, through the conditioning of school, through our life experiences. You know, our favorite uncle tells us something, and that's good enough for me, right? We go through life picking up all these ideas, all these beliefs from the world around us, but they're not always real. And then there's plenty of evidence in my experience here online publicly. A lot of people want to test me because of their beliefs. Now, I'm sure I am guilty. I have been guilty of doing that with others in the past as well. But the true growth we find, it's pretty obvious and simple. Test your own beliefs. Don't test them against other people as much as test them against the truth. Test your beliefs and your opinions against the facts, because the facts are what matter. The rumors and the opinions, all of that is just information to be considered. So if you're going to test your beliefs, number one, look at yourself and see what the patterns are that you're living with. Are you repeating patterns of argument, maybe the same or similar topics over and over? Are you factual in those beliefs? Behind every belief, and I mentioned this yesterday, behind every belief, it truly is, it's a truth of what we desire. It may not be a conscious desire. It may be, we found an excuse and told ourselves, well, this is what I want because I can't have that. This is what I want. And that's what I did with my old job, right? I couldn't travel. I couldn't live the life I wanted because I had these other commitments. And I'm not denying the commitments may be real, but it's up to each of us to find out what is true and what is real. Because it's not just what is factual in the external world, but it really comes down to what is the purpose behind that belief. Now, this may sound, I don't know if I can explain this idea clearly, but even our patterns of low self-worth, our patterns of confusion. You know, I see, I've seen and witnessed a lot of people just selling themselves short. Well, I'm just not smart. I'm just not this. I'm just not that. It's those beliefs, it's those limiting beliefs that are creating that reality for the individual. Okay. So, why would someone allow themselves to believe that they are lower in worth, that they're somehow an inferior grade or somehow inferior to other people? What would cause that? Every person is going to have different reasons and different, you know, memories and experiences in their past for different things. For myself, the low self-worth, it was a way of hiding, you know, because you don't get in as much trouble if you don't stand out. If you're not noticed, then hey, you're good. It's only when you get caught that you're in trouble. And you don't get caught unless people pay attention to you. So it's best not to have any attention. That was the life that was how I kind of, I guess, believed. And then there's the other type. They take their insecurities and they make themselves all hard and tough, you know, wanting to fight everyone just for no reason sometimes, but just to fight to prove how tough they are. See, that's an insecure child as well. It's a confused mind that thinks they have some sort of superiority over others. And we've seen plenty of examples of those up here too. But to 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 find your own path, to find your own peace, well, those are both found within. Go within to find the path to peace for yourself. And the path to peace I found for myself was through truly testing my beliefs. Why do I believe what I believe? Why do I say what I say? Why do I do what I do? Those are the questions that will lead you to know you. And hello, that's an ancient adage, an ancient wisdom. Know thyself. If you don't know who you are, how is the world supposed to know you? If you can't accept you for who you are, how is the world supposed to accept you? If you can't celebrate yourself for who you are, how is the world to celebrate you? Now, don't get me wrong. There's lots of appearances and moments of celebration and moments of acceptance, regardless of how ridiculous some people are. But I encourage you, whoever you might be, again, tuning in and living this life, this time of history with me. I am with you. We are here united at this time of the world's history. We're a part of each other's experience, whether we realize it or not, whether we accept it or not, whether we celebrate our part in each other's experiences or not. It's true. It is all true. So, the number one rule that I have found and it just makes sense, honesty, honesty above all. That is the number one rule for yourself and for you to interact with others appropriately. There's no other way for us to live. If we run around lying and assuming, well, the chaos and the enabling is going to continue. And so, brothers and sisters, an honest evaluation of every belief, of every day, that is where you find your freedom. But as you do and on it, first of all, sometimes it can be confusing within, especially early in the process of trying to grow in your own self-awareness. It can be challenging at first to retrain the mind to focus on different things. But the blessing of our design, and there's plenty of science that shows this, the neuroplasticity in our minds, we can actually change our minds. It actually won't kill you if you change your mind. At least I've never died that I'm aware of from changing my mind. At least not in this lifetime. I think I'm still here. Hey, this Pixel T. Conquering low self-worth through hard work of looking within and fixing those unresolved toxic patterns is truly rewarding. Creating wisdom to not make those mistakes again. It feels good to grow. And we don't grow if we don't try. If we're not trying to grow, if we're just trying to survive, we're really not living. We're missing out on the potentials of life. So an honest evaluation of the beliefs, right? And it's up to you to find your clarification, your wording on what's within you. It's your game to figure out you. But honesty above all, and with the intention to look, the intention to identify the beliefs. In any belief, some of the questions I look for is relevance. Relevance, context, and purpose. Those three things. That applies to anything in life. Is it relevant? What is the context, of this information? Where's it coming from? What's the greater story of this little piece of data? And what is the purpose? What would be the purpose? Well, I went into that. The purpose of being low self-worth, trying to hide out. But the growth we can find, man, the growth is such a gift. We have within ourselves, you have within yourself the opportunity to restart your life every day. You can change who you are. You can change who you were. The number one thing, though, is just be honest. Hey, this isn't a long monologue. And actually, I'm wondering, maybe I should do a poll. I might post one later. Not right now. Where my mind was going. I'm not doing a long monologue, it seems. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link for those who may be present, may wish to join. Again, today, I'm not sure how long or what the live stream may result in. My idea with the poll, though, is I'm curious what those who may tune in might want. Personally, I'm trying to break away from the chaotic arguing panels, if that's not clear. I mean, there's been people making the claim that I enjoy the chaos and the attacks and the arguments. Maybe I used to, but not anymore. I'm kind of sick of those. I had to test my beliefs. What do I want? What is my purpose? Why do I believe I am here? Well, brothers and sisters, why I believe I am here is world peace. I want wars to end. I want to help people, including myself, learn how to get along better with other people. I want to create a better world for us all, one with more love, more honesty, more confidence between each other, because we have more trust in the world we live in. And we trust the world we live in because we're honest with ourselves. We've invited God into our lives. We've humbled ourselves to what is true, what is real, and what is present. And with that, we've got a guest here that I'm going to see. Is God present with us today? Welcome.
God's always
Snafu.
present with me, Jack, unlike your blasphemous ass.
Well, let's see that,
No, no,
because I
we
know
know we're
God.
in the
And
biggest.
hold on a second, Snafu. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm hoping you're in the back listening. I'm inviting you as a guest into my home. This home I'm sharing with the viewers who have tuned in to hear me. And if you can't find respect for the time that we're sharing together, Snafu, then you're not welcome here. And what I mean by respect is we can have a conversation like adults without your narratives and
Your home's about to get
accusations.
crashed with this big hack going on. You want to save wars and stuff? We're in the biggest digital experience war ever. Right now, the fucking world is about to fucking crumble to fucking the digital experience. You're sitting here talking all this bullshit as one of the
Actually, I'm
biggest
not.
hacks.
Actually, I'm not talking bullshit. What you're doing is you're painting a false representation of me and what I'm doing, Snafu. If you listen to me, I'm actually on your same side. I know there's a lot of corruption. I know there's a lot of problems in the world we're living in. But my focus is on confronting the people behind the problems. And Snafu, you seem to found the purpose to just keep attacking people like me. And that's not healthy, Snafu. Okay. Um, if this is the only caliber of guest I'm going to receive today, I'm pretty confident I'll be wrapping this up quickly. I'm going to give Snafu one last chance today.
You're delusional. You have no clue what's going on right this second in our world. And I hope that you're going to find out
You don't
there
know
is
what's going on. You don't know what's going on right here. Okay. And Snafu, our life, your life, and my life is happening right here. You know, Snafu, you know how to reach me. Goodbye. Um, holy cows. This life we're living in, what do I do? What do I do to find peace with all of these disagreeable people? You know, brothers and sisters, the day is coming soon. I truly trust and believe that what is happening right now is the end time prophecies. It's not a bad thing either. It's actually, it will be a day of celebration very soon when people start realizing the power of God, the glory of God, the control of God, the perfection of God. When people start humbling themselves to the truth, we only live in these present moments. So we had another example, Snafu, coming up, and he wants to spend the present moments allowing his beliefs to keep him upset in the present. I used to do that as well. It's not healthy. We do not have to live in these constant states of fighting, of arguing. The path to peace is peace. And many wars that all of these ego minds like this. I mean, so many people want to come and join and want to fight me, a man of peace, a man of God, a man of love. And I don't understand the logic behind that. I really don't. I've been working on that quantum epic. Thank you for noticing. I can stay kind and peaceful and much appreciated energy. Thank you. I've been working on it. In the past, obviously, I've not done well. There are times for some sternness, but in moderation. And that's where I've been trying to figure this out for myself. My goal is to be more like Jesus, more Christ-like, more loving, kind, fearless, faithful, loyal, a blessing, a service to the world. That is my goal. God's allowed me plenty of people to test me, to refine me. I continue my own self-development. Bam. There's a tip I want to share too. If you want to change your life, testing beliefs, right? That's the first thing. Test your beliefs against what is true. What are others who believe opposite of that? Why do they believe opposite of you? Those who believe differently than you, why do they believe differently than you? This is part of maturity, right? If we're unwilling to change, to allow our minds to change in the face of new information, hello, new information is revealed to you every single day. Snafu, right? These people who want to loop against me, there's new information revealed every day. And doggone, learning. That's where I wanted to go. Learning. Test your beliefs and give yourself permission to learn. If this was something I've done with myself, okay? There's another lesson there into with what I just said. If we're not learning, we're not growing. If we're not growing, we're not becoming. We're just being or doing. And if all we're doing is spinning our wheels, living the same arguments day after day, doing the same problems day after day, what are we doing? We're missing out on the opportunities of life. I found this, I came across studies after my life. Once I start overcoming problems, then I find the answers. That was my experience with overcoming addiction, the alcoholism. There's science out there that shows, number one, the power of positivity. Positive psychology is one of the things I was drawn to. The simple act of learning. If all you're learning is what you're told to learn or what the job requires, then what are you really growing into? I mean, these are the questions. Hey, we've got a guest here. I'm going to take a chance. Welcome,
Hey,
Dawson. How are you, my friend?
good. How about you?
I am truly feeling blessed. I haven't seen you around before, but I see
Yeah,
the
I'm
face.
Dawson from Toronto.
From where?
Toronto.
Toronto. Welcome. Have you been tuned in long or just coming across this?
I watched this today and for the last few days too.
Thank you. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I want to just give you some hope for your guests here. There are some good ones too. Sure. Again, you seem like you have a good message, so I wanted to share that as well.
Thank you, Dawson. I appreciate that. Sincerely. And let me not overlook that, what you said. You joined up to give me hope, to give me an example that I shouldn't lose hope on others. Thank you so much for that, my friend. Sincerely. Um, are you on YouTube as well? You
Yeah.
on Okay. And what do you normally do? What's your
So
focus?
I have the Rampage video channel is entertainment. So I make music videos. But just recently, it's just been people who have open panels. Like I hop on panels. I've been on a lot recently, and just yeah, yeah, I just like talking. That's it.
Very cool. Um, Well, I appreciate it. And if you'd like, we can share the. I don't mind if people promote their stuff here, so
Okay.
we can. If one of the mods is aware, they're welcome to drop it, or if you want to put, we'll find it. So you willing to be put on the spot though, Dawson? I'm curious.
Sure.
With the topic, testing beliefs. If you were to look at yourself for a belief that you wanted to test, a belief that might have been causing problems in the past or potentially holding you back. Oh, hey, beautiful. That's you, right? Thank you.
Yeah.
Very cool. Actually, it doesn't link though, but here.
Yeah, I think one of the mods has to do that.
No worries. We got it. So for yourself, do you mind going into that?
Sure.
Any beliefs you'd be willing to share, maybe that have been holding you back, or things you've found that you want to overcome for yourself?
Yeah, there was a belief that like I couldn't go online, like I was nervous to do live streams. And so when I went on someone else's, um, but that's what happened. So it started at 5 minutes, and then the next one I was on someone's show for half hour, and then consistently for an hour. And then a few days ago, it was like I was on for probably 5.5 hours. So that was my longest guest appearance on a live stream.
That's a good stint. So you seem to be getting more comfortable then. I'm
Yeah.
assuming you're growing in comfort. All right. So if you were to guess, what might have what might have caused the nervousness? Other
One of the
than
reasons for the nervousness was probably just my ability to communicate. I was rather monotone and stuttered quite often, but now I have a little bit more inflection and I have a bit more clarity. So I have enough speaking power to translate the thought to outside and then hopefully add value to people's channels and lives.
beautiful, brother, I heard a number of things there. The you're growing, you're realizing, gaining in confidence, gaining in comfort. Is that an accurate assumption?
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. And then I love you pressed yourself into an area maybe you weren't comfortable, but you're finding the benefits. You're growing. I want to encourage you to continue that. Identify the opportunities that show up in your life and in your days. And just this is something I've been doing more to myself, saying yes to life. As new opportunities, new invitations, new things are discovered in my life, I try to say yes more, even if it seems like I might be uncomfortable.
That's like the Yoko Ono exhibit where they climb up the ladder and then they use like a not a microscope but a magnifying glass, and then it says yes.
Where? I missed that. I'm sorry.
So I in the 60s, like one of the first thing that Yoko Ono seen from John Lennon's scene from Yoko's artwork was there was like a ladder and then there was a little tiny word on the ceiling. So you had to climb up the ladder, use a magnifying glass, and then at the top of the ceiling near the lights, it said yes.
Okay. Hey, I do apologize. I'm not ignoring you. I was grabbing your link for those who may wish to wish.
Cool, cool.
There we go.
All right, awesome.
And yeah, for those interested, give them some support, right?
Yep,
And
one view, one subscriber at a time.
well, that's how we grow. And what I heard you saying too is you're growing in your ability to get the ideas out, right? So others can receive them.
Hmm.
And you've got some value. You wouldn't be online if you didn't have some value to share. That's my assumption, right?
Hmm.
Um,
So my current limiting belief is like having my own live stream is like I know it uses like bandwidth and power and electricity, and I want it to be kind of, I don't know, sustainable, but I can just talk about my past and the different conservation areas I've been to. I've traveled around Canada, and so I don't have to push myself to do extra things. I could just tell people about the past and my efforts in raising awareness of environmental issues.
okay, so you've been on a path with environmental issues for a bit
Yeah.
as well. Good for you. I'm a big tree hugger myself. I care deeply about this planet. Hey, how open is your mind to the impossible? I mean, that's a pretty
Yeah, no,
open-ended
it's
question.
pretty open.
Um, well, my purpose, why I'm on here, sincerely, world peace. World peace is my number one focus and dream.
Hmm.
And do you believe that could be possible in this lifetime?
Yes, and one example was I seen that I was at the Ringo Starr concert. I think his probably his first date of his recent tour, and so I was right there in the front row. He was singing, "Give Peace a Chance," and the crowd was singing it. The Ringo Starr All Star Band, and yeah, I was. He was looking at me while he was playing photograph, so I got a picture while he was playing photograph, and um yeah, so I'm all for it.
Very cool. Well, the way I see it can happen is actually the same way that it works for an individual. Honesty. When our governments and our corporations become honest, the citizens who are employed and running those things, of course, when they become honest, we won't have wars. You know, we won't have the levels of poverty that we have because the workers won't be exploited. And when we don't have the wars, we won't have the destruction and the pollution and all of the devastation that war brings. The corruption of our world has gotten to this point, it's unsustainable. The world realizes it too. There's men and women across America, Canada, all around the world. I think in every nation, there's people coming together, trying to stand up against the oppositional forces, the
So that was one of my questions was a lot of people have it's like a negativity bias. It's kind of built into some of our mental circuitry. So I was wondering, are we able to rewire ourselves to have a positivity bias?
yes. I love that question. And the answer I found for myself is yes. I there's a lot of teachers and a lot of wisdom on these ideas. What I've called it for myself, experiential alchemy, right? The idea of alchemy, you take the base or the mundane and you refine it to get the pure, to get the value out of it. We can alchemize our own experiences. Take the past and everything you hated about it, find ways to love it, find reasons to love everything that's happened, And if you can carry that idea of each day, you know, I don't have to judge what happens in my life. I don't have to judge the people who happen in my life. I feel better if I appreciate everything and everyone. So, brother, yes, that is one of the things I've learned too, is the malleability of our minds and the powers of our minds. If that that awareness too, for those who may be tuned in, that awareness of identifying the pattern of negativity. It's the way the world has taught us because it fosters in fear and insecurity and therefore obedience. The negative thinking, it's our limiting beliefs. And that negative thinking is why the world is at war with itself, why people are at war with themselves. Negative thinking. The cure is to know thyself. Self-love. Self-love can set us free of everything.
And so I think I also learned to have more gratitude because, yes, we all have emotions, and some of them are negative and some of them are positive, but like we have this and it lives within us. So if I have gratitude for all the emotions, then that you can learn how to manage that and channel it into a positive way and bring it out in the world.
Absolutely. And along the lines, the way I found to do that, to appreciate the emotions, even the fear and even the anger, to appreciate those, if we find the lessons, right? If you can find value in the lesson, what did you learn from getting angry, from getting hurt, from having your heart broken? What did you learn, right? And that lesson is the gift. I'm a man of faith. That's the gift from God. Wisdom. Wisdom is what sets us free. Wisdom sets us free from confusion, from insecurity. It's the power that empowers. Wisdom. And the way I found to find wisdom is to love. Love learning, love life, love yourself, love God, love everything. It just feels better. It really does. And that idea too, can we change, patterns of negative thinking into positive? It can happen. It starts in our mind. The power of our imagination is incredible. And what I hope to do, I hope to be an example, so that others can see that you can face hate, you can face, problems and still find some joy. It's not always easy to do, but if I know that if each of us can start embodying these ideas more, the world is going to transform very, very quickly.
You already have made an impact on people, and all your subscribers and the people who tune into views. So you've already been making waves and making these changes.
Thank you, Dawson. I truly appreciate that. We've got another guest who joined. Sometimes hit and miss, but welcome, Browns boy. How you doing, brother?
How are you doing?
Better than your connection. You got kind of roboting there in that little greeting. Are you there?
I'm doing well. How are
Doing good.
Yeah. Yes, doing good. Um, Sorry, my mind went somewhere else. feel free. I want to do something here real quick. Browns boy, did you have something? Are you there?
I was just enjoying. Yeah. I was just enjoying what you guys were saying. So I'm just gonna keep listening
Okay.
and add whenever I see maybe there's value.
All right. Thank you. Hey, Dawson.
Yep.
In the back, in the private chat, I dropped my email and phone number if you have interest.
Okay.
I'm happy to work with. I'm happy to share time with anyone if they find value in what I'm sharing. Okay. So I have faith that everything happens for a purpose. A greater divine purpose brings forth every single day. I call that greater purpose God, right? There's forces beyond us that operate, move nature. Everything has an order and an explanation. But our minds don't always find the right explanations. We don't always even see everything that's happening. But if we can find peace with that, peace in the absence of knowing, right? That's where that practice of pushing yourself into those new experiences. When you first went online, you didn't know what to do or necessarily, what to say, how to be. It was new. Every time we do anything, it's new, right? New job, new town, new relationship. These news, they start out uncomfortable sometimes, but the more we can be comfortable not having all the answers, the more we can be comfortable, even though it's unfamiliar. As long as we're just realistic, am I in danger? Is there an actual threat to me at this place, at this time? If there's not, then there's no reason to feel those fears, those insecurities. That's what I've been finding for myself, at least.
And that's why we can appreciate the gratitude and also the different emotions, is because those emotions were given to us as like survival skills and things. And so now we don't have to worry about a lot of the other survival skills. A lot of our basic needs are met, but we're still left with all these extra emotions. And so what you said is exploring and finding these different ways so that we can manage them and spread words of positivity and wisdom.
Absolutely. There was a line in the Bible. I can't remember where it was, but it was a part of a Bible study we were doing. Something about the ancient path. You know, when we're walking, maybe that's not the right term. The idea was to seek the ancient wisdom as we go through and come to the forks in the roads. The ancient wisdom, I believe, is what you're talking about. Within us, by our own design, we've got the mechanisms and the intuition, the nervous system to pick up on all of these variables. The world we live in, though, it wants everyone to live by the rule of the mind. The rule of the mind, the logic, is what creates logic without love. Logic without love has created a world where people have to pay to learn, pay money to survive, and at the same time pay money so other people go to war. How insane is this world?
Well, it's only as insane as the perspective of someone who wants to view it that way, but there's a way to view it in positive ways. I've been talking to people, thought leaders about technology and changes, and so there's been a lot of positive ones, such as like extended healthcare, ways that technology can solve problems that exist, and to bring food, to grow food in greenhouses to people to help with hunger. So it depends which way you look at things is.
You're right. You're
Now, that wasn't
absolutely
meant to be a judgment, because I used to have quite a negative view. I used to be kind of an angry teenager sometimes, and a lot of us are the reflection of the people who we surround ourselves with. And so once we surround ourselves with more positive people, then that can develop and grow.
You're absolutely right. And you know, thank you. You corrected me perfectly. I was complaining, saying how insane the world is, and you're pointing out the other side. Yeah, it is insane, Jack, but look over here. Look at the other stuff. Look at the good. Look at the positivity. Brother, thank you. I mean, that is the message I've been trying to offer, really. Behind the legal secrets, behind the non-disclosure agreements, the oaths of secrecy, behind all of that crap, we have the technology and the answers for every problem on Earth. There's innovations on agriculture, permaculture, organic methods to restore and clean up our world. And there's actually, Dawson, you probably have more information than I do, but I'm amazed at how many people are really out there working hard, trying to clean up the rivers and trying to restore some health back into the environment that we all share.
Yeah,
There are,
after visiting uh what's it called, the conservation, different conservation areas such as in Alberta, I like going in the forest. I like reading all the signs that are there, and looking at the animals, and kind of taking notes, and just small things that help with curiosity, and then I'll like kind of share that with others.
very cool. That's how we're going to change the world, in my opinion. That is how we're going to change this world, is by sharing our experiences, sharing the wisdom, sharing the information we've been learning. Because the way the world has evolved, how it's unfolded, the billionaire class, the ruling class of the corporations and all of this, the powers of the government, it all exists because everyone is focused on their own little lives, just like I used to do. And that's why I don't judge anyone. We're all on these different paths. But this life we're living in at this time, this day, this year, it's time for people to seriously find the intention and the willingness within to grow, to become greater, to let go of the old ways, to become more positive, more of a light here in the world. It's an
So
amazing
as you were
opportunity.
mentioning, like they were talking about patterns, like some like people get stuck in patterns sometimes. So I've been stuck in my own kind of patterns. And one of them was like, I used to practice a lot of mindfulness. I used to meditate every day. And I found kind of my soul. And I was experienced kind of oneness with everything. And then sometimes I just kind of got more busy, and I wasn't connecting as much. And so I'm like, I'm kind of ignorant, because I'm like, okay, yeah, I've already done that before. I've already found myself. I've already connected. I've already done that. But I just can't bring myself to go sit in the garden every day. I can't internalize I can't search it, because there's like a layer of pain in between me and where I want to be. And I just can't be honest with myself. I can't look at that right now. It just, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I kind of understand. Mindfulness style meditation does not work for me. It's not what I need. So I use some kind of more like an active. I do something, then I'll go into a trance, and that's how I that's how I actually relax, by doing something. Then I don't have to focus on everything else.
Okay.
I'm not one of those who will sit in a sit in a pose or sit in meditation for 8 hours at a time. I haven't done those deep practices that many others have, but I have been practicing, and I encourage everyone, practice relaxing. Seriously, resting a lot. That's what meditation is my definition of meditation. It's simply a mind at peace. Hello. A
I
mind
like
at
that
peace.
one.
Yeah.
I literally just got out of the wave pool, and I just need a dip. So
I'm sorry, I missed that. What was that, Hank?
yeah, I just left the wave pool because I need to relax with the water around me. I just need that for like a half hour.
There you go.
Yeah.
Any ways that you can personally find, whoever you are, right? Any ways that we can find healthy ways to relax, to detach mentally. That's the whole point. Mentally detach from the rest of the world, to allow your energies to become one with you. And I practice this. I used to set alarms early in my practice to remind myself to check in. What am I doing? What am I thinking of? And then try to reform my thoughts out of the negative into the positive. But eventually, anything with practice becomes normal. And the whole idea that I found for the meditation, you drop into a place of peace, the mind becomes still, you fill yourself with gratitude so that you feel the joy of being here in the present as you are, and then you open your eyes and you just continue the day as much as you can with the gratitude and with the peace that you found in just that moment. So that's what I found for myself. It's not easy because we live in a world that, there are bills to pay, there's things to do, there's work to be done, there's a lot of tasks, and the world can really it can really tear us down, wear us out if we let it.
Yeah, and like if everyone has a practice kind of like that, or is more mindful, then it's a really big step towards reaching that peace that we're looking for.
Well, this is where I found, I could be wrong, but it seems that everything it feels right. The way that Jesus was teaching is just that. Be present, be calm, be aware, and be good. We don't have to be perfect, but perfect love, it is available for us. Perfect love is the love without excuse. It's the love without a reason. It's just the love that we are. And this has been confirmed for me. It's been confirmed through many different philosophies and many different teachings. I started applying these ideas into my own practice of being more present, more aware, more prayer filled, more grateful. And the path to happiness is gratitude. It's really that simple. And when we're happy, we can be joyful. And when we're joyful, there's nothing to worry about. We can share the joy. We can share the happiness. We can share the beauty wherever we go. And the encouragement and the praise, especially when we flip the script within us, when we're not constantly complaining about ourselves and everyone else, we can offer forth some praise and encouragement for others and ourselves.
It's like a surplus. It's almost like when America was founded, they had farmers, and then the farmers, when they had extra food, like they would share the food with their neighbors, and then they were able to be sustainable. So we can do that with our like thoughts, feelings, and emotions with others.
At the very least. At the very least. And honestly, for my own practice, breaking the patterns of judging others, putting a label on everyone. Oh, they shouldn't be doing that. Oh, they should know better than to do that. Why are they happy? Why are they sad? You know, instead of all these judgments and labels, accept people as people. People are a mystery. No one really knows. No one really knows. That's the key. No one knows who they are. No one knows what is real. But we've all got these beliefs and these feelings that are undeniable.
What did Crosby, Stills, and Nash say? I think on Woodstock is like, but life is for learning.
That's
a
is.
good song, Woodstock.
There's so much wisdom found in these songs, right? And we just take it for granted, and it's not really thought about. But take that into the greatest picture. I mean, I am a man. My mind is open to a lot of things, right? If it could be true, I allow it to be true. Unless it has relevance to me, I don't know that it matters. But I am of the belief of eternal lives, eternal souls, patterns of reincarnation, past lives, future lives. Life is what we're a part of. And I heard it pointed out, the way the universe is designed, it's so perfectly ordered. We could literally spend eternity learning about this realm we live in. And that's the key. That's the whole point, I think.
What I find that there's a lot of young men who are kind of looking for leadership. Some examples that are from some of the people we see on different panels. I'm like, oh my god, like, and then people are looking for leadership. So I get this is like a step in the right direction. And so I want to like thank you for giving people an opportunity to be able to share and speak and to dialogue with each other, because that's what we need is just is that dialogue.
It is. Thank you. Thank you for seeing what I'm doing and what I'm hoping to do. What you said, as people, this is a lesson that I haven't fully implemented for myself. The idea of helping others feel safe in the space with me so that we can have the dialogues. There's many people that just have these nervousness and they don't really feel safe anywhere. But when people feel safe, that's when we can communicate with each other. And as long as we can come together and identify, first off, what are the similarities? What do we agree on? Right? We're both men. We're people living at this time. We can start right there. And through the differences, that's actually where we get to test our beliefs. But it's real easy in the patterns of the world. It's real easy for us to take these testings of beliefs personally, because that's what our egoic mind has done. The left brain, it's taken all these logical beliefs and assigned all these meanings to us. And if that belief is challenged, right? I'm a Republican, I'm a Christian, I'm a whatever, right? When those beliefs are challenged, well, that identity is challenged. And if that identity is challenged, my life is challenged. If I'm wrong, that could mean the end of me. Allow the end of you, whoever you are. If you're in a dark spot and you're struggling and you're filled with conflicts and anger, allow it to be the intellectual death of you, not the physical death. But that's the
Yeah,
fact.
because I've been reaching out to my mentors too, and I put my ego right in the middle. Like, okay, let's just look at it. Okay, challenge that. And I'm like, oh, okay, this hurts. Okay, but you know what? I'm still going to be walking tomorrow. I on to the next belief I can challenge and just break on through to the other side.
I love what you're saying, Dawson. Sincerely, thank you for joining and sharing this stuff, man. Because what you're talking about, putting that ego out there, look at it, review the self from the self, and look at yourself from perspectives as though it's outside, and it can be humbling. I mean, the reality is, I've been living an interesting story. And I had to accept the fact that a lot of the complaints about me were true. I was an angry man. I was yelling at all sorts of people. I felt I was justified. You know, my beliefs said I was doing the right thing by yelling at some of these people because they were wrong. It didn't help. It was my ego. And when I had to humble myself, which I did in order to grow and learn, I had to humble myself that I was wrong. I yelled at people who loved me. I yelled at people I loved. And we don't want to do that. If we can find ways to help each other, help each other feel safe. It's not our responsibility to make someone feel safe, but if we can help each other feel safe, to have these dialogues of honesty, right? Being vulnerable with one another too. That's really how we connect with each other. And when we connect with each other, we feel more empowered. We're no longer alone, even if it's just a friend you only talk to once a year or whatever. If you've got connections, you feel better. But back to something you said too, who we surround ourselves with, that can make a difference. I found myself spending a lot of time alone, which is why I think I'm a little more unique than I used to be. But I do have great faith. Hey, Dawson, I'm going to take a stab in the dark. You said you're in Canada, right? Up in Toronto?
Yep, the Canadas.
Do you know people who know people by chance? Because I think the solution I'm trying to do in America, it's everywhere around the world. Any nation that has some sort of freedom and ability to communicate with the people in positions, it's time for our world to change. It's time for the banking industries to be exposed for what they are and the selfishness of mankind. I think it's time to be overcome.
Yeah, I know a lot of people. I network every day.
Let's connect, please. Brainstorm some ideas if you're interested. And who knows? I mean, this is our lifetime to live, and I wanted to. My dreams have been growing. I didn't wake up one day saying, hey, I think I can end wars. I didn't wake up with that idea. It became inspired because I found so many other men and women who've been dedicating their lives to these purposes. I know I'm not alone with the idea to end wars, to make a better world. I really do believe that that is happening. We are a part of this change, and I'm excited for it to change.
One of my ideas was, well, like if everybody can like stay still for like 15 minutes, but like in the world at one time. And yes, it might be like the opposite time in the different part of the world, but like, and obviously not everybody can probably be still at the same time, because there are people who need to run the electricity and the infrastructure and healthcare and things. So I don't like, not everybody can do that at the same time, but like most people can do that. That would be cool. Like if everyone just was still for 15 minutes and just like,
There has been studies on the power of group meditation. And have you heard about some of those things?
a little bit. Yeah, I've heard a couple of them.
Some of them I had heard is like groups of focused intention of peace. They focus. It might have been Detroit. I know there was an American city and there was another city somewhere else. The crime dropped. The crime rates dropped during the period where the focus was on peace, just from a smallish group of people too. So to get the whole world just to pause for 15 minutes, I think it could transform the world, certainly. Hey, let me address a couple things in the chat. Joseph, I'm assuming this is the same one who joined recently. Jack talks ish about the guy trying to do it. I believe that's in reference to Donald Trump. Has 0 prescriptions. I found it out firsthand talking to him.
Oh, I gave him a reply in the chat already.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, read that one out. You'll like it.
If you need a prescription. Hey, I wanted to come back, Joseph, with my own acknowledgement. When I went back and reviewed our conversation, I wasn't as polite with you as I could have been. I certainly didn't allow dialogue as much, and I realize, people have their beliefs, and I didn't really consider you as much as when I was presenting my side of the beliefs. But it doesn't change the facts of what I said. This question, at the end of the day, do you want to be talking to bankers and politicians or friends and family? Yes. Yes. If by some miracle today I could speak to a politician or my neighbor or my friends or my family, dude, I'd be so thrilled and excited. And the bankers and the politicians, where I'm at today is I see every man, every woman today as another reflection of me living a life at this time. And I see every man and every woman as a potential friend, a potential ally. Because deep down, I'm pretty sure that most people want peace. They want freedom from the debts, freedom from the wage slavery, freedom from the lies and the censorship and all of the craziness that has evolved. But that's why there's those other groups. I'm going to flip it around myself, Dawson. That's why there's all those other groups, these men and women working hard, bringing out the answers and the information, kind of like us.
Yeah, and the ones that don't want peace, at least we can make it a fair fight. We have a thing called martial arts for a reason. Those people can just have a fair fight. We don't have to be involved. We don't feel like it, and they can fight as safe as they want to. No need to have a war.
There's
just
not.
like a couple egos going at it. We don't need to involve everyone's friends and families, except to spectate.
It's the mental aikido. It's the mental gymnastics. We build our minds with reading and culture and dialogue. So we're doing our own internal martial arts.
That's what it is. Holy cows, when you put it that way, that's exactly what I was doing. Mental martial arts. I was kicking my ass all the time, man, finding a reason to beat myself up. My life was miserable when I thought I was in charge. This here, I joke about that. In charge, right? That's the ego, thinks it's in charge. Satan thinks it's in charge, right? Wants to replace the power of the Almighty. There's my life experience has proven to me there's forces beyond me that are controlling everything. I'm responsible for everything I do, everything I say, everything I think, but I don't control the results. I don't control anybody else. And I found peace with that.
Nice.
It's really kind of simple once we do. If we can find peace with anything and everything that is, that's what the religions were trying to point us to. Having a peaceful life, being a peace-filled person. I'm convinced there is a God and that God is with us, all of us, in the here and now. And that means that if God is if God is with me in the here and now, then I shouldn't be so arrogant. I shouldn't be so afraid. I still lose track of that. I still get angry. I still get arrogant. I still get angry. I still get afraid. But those are getting less frequent, and they don't stick around within me as long either.
What's
I think
your slogan there?
live without fear.
Live without fear.
And that love is the way. The live without fear, for me, it was when I first started my path of development, I thought the answer was positivity. And so I actually invested in the website, Living Positive Now, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That was going to be my idea. But then I realized it's real easy to be in denial both ways. You can be in denial about how negative the world is, and you can also convince yourself that there's absolutely nothing wrong. And I didn't want that. Then I realized in duality, we deal with two primary forces within us, love or fear. And really, fear is just an inversion of our love. We either love ourselves and then we're afraid of ourself dying or ourself getting hurt, or we love others and we're afraid they're going to leave us, or we're afraid we're going to lose them or lose things.
Yeah.
That fear it's a demon. When not managed, it becomes a demon.
Facts.
And that spirit of anger, I lived a lot of years with that spirit of anger because I didn't understand my fears. My anger was overshadowing my fears. But I remember in my recovery, I went to a talk put on by some of the Buddhist nuns from one of the monasteries nearby. They came and put on a talk about meditation and anger. And they asked, what do you guys know about anger? I was like, that's my best friend, man. I know anger. It keeps me warm. It keeps me comfortable, makes me feel strong. It's miserable. Love feels better.
I like what Hank's doing. He's getting out there in the pool and just I got to that's my thing is going in the pool, and I haven't been doing that. And I got my pool pass for the indoor pool. There's some outdoor things open. I got to get down and tread some water, man.
Hey, it's healthy. These bodies are made to be moved, to be exercised, to be stretched, to be loved, to be pushed, right? We're here to grow, to experience life in all different ways, whatever ways feel right in our hearts. That's where we're supposed to go.
Yeah, I got to get back in the garden too. And even I was hiking last week. It was great, even just for half an hour. Drive up, take my bike out to the forest, and get out there.
That's a great idea. I'm not, yeah, sorry. My mind just went off to some of the trails that are real close to me. That is a great idea. I haven't taken the bicycle out for a while. And
Yep.
be good. Except we're over 100 degrees here over the weekend. So I don't think I'll be out doing a lot of running or biking.
We just do a little.
Maybe I will. A
Yeah, go
little.
for a walk around the block. Put
At
on some
least,
sunscreen. Drink some lemonade.
well, at least early in the morning. Maybe I will. I mean, hey, these conversations, that's where we get our ideas. We get ideas from each other. And thank you. That's a great reminder and a great idea. Getting out there and our pool. Do you win? um I see what he pulled up here. No, I won't. I'll leave it. That's entertaining. That's a video that was put together by one of our friends, provoking. Take a breath. Yeah, that one. That's what that is. Hey, I don't mean to interrupt this because the energies and the conversations have been amazing today. But
Show time for Jack, right?
it might be time to start wrapping up. Have a little chill time.
Cool.
Any other thoughts or ideas?
Yeah.
before we do that?
Yeah, I have like I thought about the title. I still have beliefs I need to have test them to go ahead and read them out, just so someone else can hold them and be accountable for them eventually. So, so if there is a consistent system to give MBTI and or Enneagram types to fictional characters, if anything breaks, if you assume the first and second continuum hypotheses, if you can build a Linux install USB that doesn't take all of the other space, and if you can get a laptop manufacturer to build a classic style chassis, and by classic I mean have a battery that can remove and put back easily without having to solder it or glue. So that's what I thought of. Please, I need to test.
Wait, I got confused there because I thought you were first talking about personalities, but then soldering and
Yeah,
testing. Are you
yeah.
talking?
There's more. I have more than one belief that I have to test. So
Okay.
He's rewiring his positivity bias.
Thank you. Thank you. I get it now. You use the comparison, and I found confusion. Beautiful.
So my thought was, the record of the day is Jimi Hendrix, "Axis Full is Love," because we need more love.
Absolutely, man.
And check out Rampage video channel for your music needs. Thanks for the chat today.
Respect to you. I hope you make it back again. You're welcome to return. And until things change, my plan is same time each day, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. And yes, for those who tuned in, check out Rampage's channel, share some support, and we'll connect again later. If you're interested, hit me up. We can talk offline too if you do have that interest. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Dawson.
I'll let you close it out there, and peace and love.
Respect to you. I'm going to toss you to the back, and thank you, Dawson. Sincerely, brothers and sisters, Hank, Dawson, even Snafu. Did we have others? Brown's Boy? I believe that was a collection today. Thank you to all who joined, all who tuned in, all who shared your support. And I do encourage you, please consider sharing. Consider sharing these ideas, the encouragement, even at least the opportunity for others to know what we're doing here on this channel. Invite others to please check it out, because if this life can become real, you know, if we can really create anything we want here on earth, let's create peace. Let's create a world of compassion and care. And for your own life, for your own purpose, your own path, I encourage you, dream big. Test your beliefs, especially the limiting beliefs, the negative beliefs, the ones that don't feel good. You know, we pick up beliefs through time, and old beliefs may have been right for the time, but just because something was right in the past doesn't mean it's right for the future. In the past, our nations, our world has accepted war. It's accepted corruption. And maybe there was a time for that. But brothers and sisters, I encourage you, test your beliefs, test those limits, and allow yourself, give yourself permission to dream big. Dreaming big can take you to places you didn't know were available. You can discover things you didn't know even existed. And really, a life without a greater purpose, is that not a missed opportunity for achievements? To freak, blessings to you. There's been so many of you folks, so loyal. I don't want to call you out or get you in trouble, because I know many of you have been criticized for your loyalty and your support to me. I've seen that. I've seen some of you guys suffering for your support. To freak, screw snafu. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the contributions to all of you. And I think that is about the right time to wrap up. I want to thank all of you again, anyone who tuned in live, anyone who tuned in a later time. Please do the algorithm thing, the share, the support, like, subscribe, whatever. More so, have conversations with others. Please invite others to have conversations with you. Share. There's a guy over here named Jack. He thinks the wars can end. He thinks the censorship and the corruption can be overcome. What do you guys think? Ask your neighbors, ask your friends. Let's find out what's important with each other, because this is the life we're sharing. Brothers and sisters, thank you again. Sincerely, choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless you, and God bless us all. Peace.